Hey guys, it's Timmy and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So next week is the WWE Superstar Shakeup. Superstars will be moving from Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw, and we're finally going to figure out where those NXT call-ups are going to be placed, plus we could see a few more call-ups from NXT as well. So I'm going to start off with who I think is moving to Raw. First off, I think that the United States Champion Samoa Joe will be coming to Monday Night Raw. Next up, I do believe that the USOS could be moving over to Monday Night Raw. The USOS have gone through and defeated and feuded with almost every team on SmackDown, so they need a new challenge, and I think a great feud that they can do would be the USOS versus the Revival. Now, when you move the USOS, that also means that you gotta move NAOMI. NAOMI moving over to Raw would actually be a good move because maybe you can team her up with Ember Moon as a tag team to challenge for the tag team championships. Next up, another man that's basically been all about SmackDown. I think you move AJ Styles over to Monday Night Raw. Now, as far as a tag team that came up with the now, as far as an NXT tag team that came up and hasn't been placed yet, Heavy Machinery, I think, fits well on Raw. Now, next up, I do think that Charlotte Flair should be moved to Monday Night Raw. I believe that Becky Lynch should stay on SmackDown Live, and with that, you want to get Charlotte Flair away from Becky right now, so put her on Raw. Now, with Charlotte moving to Raw, a couple things have to follow in suit as well. With Charlotte Flair moving to Raw, I do believe that Andrade would also move to Raw since that is Charlotte Flair's boyfriend, and with Andrade does come Zelina Vega, but also with Zelina Vega moving to Monday Night Raw, that also leads to her husband Aleister Black getting placed on Monday Night Raw as well, and that's who I think should be moved over to Monday Night Raw with the Superstar Shakeup. So next up, who I think should move to SmackDown. Now, as I said, Samoa Joe should move over to Raw with the US title, so Finn Balor should move over to SmackDown with the Intercontinental Championship. I do think that Lars Sullivan should be placed on SmackDown Live. If you keep Braun Strowman over on Monday Night Raw, you need to keep Lars Sullivan on SmackDown for the fact of they're similar, but you want Lars to look like a giant. Compared to Braun, Lars is actually smaller. Also, I do think from NXT, EC3 should be placed on SmackDown Live. There's a lot of guys that EC3 has worked with in the past on SmackDown that EC3 is good against with their styles, so I just think EC3 would be a good fit on SmackDown. Going forward, I think it's time for Bayley to bring her hugging style over to the blue brand. With Aleister Black being placed on Monday Night Raw, you gotta split him and Ricochet up so they can be singles guys, so Ricochet should be placed on SmackDown. And when you look at somebody who needs a restart, who needs a fresh start, that's Baron Corbin. You need to get Baron Corbin away from everything wrong that happened on Monday Night Raw and basically give him a fresh start on SmackDown Live. Now next up, I do think that Lacey Evans should be placed on SmackDown Live. Like I said, if Becky Lynch is going to be staying on SmackDown Live, then Lacey Evans, who's going to be feuding with Becky Lynch, it just makes sense for her to be on SmackDown. And finally, the last team in call-ups from NXT that I think are going to happen are the Sky Pirates, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, and I think they're the new team that Paige is going to bring to the main roster. So with that, those are everybody that I think will be moving in next week's Superstar Shakeup. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you agree with any of my moves here, with guys moving to Raw, moving to SmackDown, and coming from NXT. And if you don't agree, let me know as well, and let me know why. But that's going to do it for this episode of Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to comment below, like and share this video, like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, subscribe here on YouTube, and follow PWUnlimited.net for the latest in pro wrestling news.